Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where we currently have these two wars ongoing, and these guys are being jerks down here. We have these mercs on the way up, and they will arrive eventually. Oh look, more jerks. Hi Garamontia, you guys are problems. That's for sure. Absolutely problems. So, that's all a problem, right? Garamontia having this over here, well, it's not the biggest of problems, actually. Here's my big question right now. If we were to peace out Macedon, we could do this, theoretically. We need to hold their capital, which we're currently sieging. So that sounds great. We've got these mercs on the way up. They get a morale bump here, and then there's no point in them being on unit reorg from here on. So they're going to fight here. It's likely that we're going to win, but we don't have a lot of morale here. We just lost the siege of Sparta. That's unfortunate. That was like a 7% chance. But we at least finally won this siege. So let's bring these guys on over to here. I want them to force march over. Let's go nice and quick. Okay, these mercs, they're going to come over here and cap. I think we actually stack wiped this, so that's great. And we're going to need to get these sieges done. This guy needs to remain loyal. He's 67. If he becomes disloyal and leaves and then comes back, Garamontia takes over this siege. And we do not want that to be the case. Okay, so that's looking reasonably fine for now. We need to get this siege taken over. These guys are probably going to become our vassals. And then we take over all of this, would be the idea. We do need a governor out over this direction. That would be this guy. That seems fine. And we're going to siege this back. It's fairly irrelevant. So that looks good. 28% here, and we are arriving up over here now. Perfect. I want you to cap here. And let's see what happens right up over here. Oh, we just completed something. Okay, cool. That's fine. Excellent. So we won this. We're going to insist on an oath of allegiance, and we're going to force march to here. We need to beat Garamontia out over this direction. So that's wonderful. We're heading here. We're going to grab this, and then we're going to head down here, is the idea. How are these sieges going? They are progressing nicely. Beautiful. So we're going to win a battle here, and that could be a little awkward, considering Garamontia. Okay, we won this battle, and Garamontia is sending a force down here. We need to split our unit here and force march these guys down to here, because Garamontia just did that themselves. Okay. These guys need a leader. So this is the Mahanid of Canaan, and this is going to be this guy. That's going to help matters, but their morale is low, and that's understood. So we just won a siege somewhere. I think that was up over here, this siege? Yes. Okay, come on over this way. Excellent. That storm is very loud. Okay, so this is done. We need to force march down to here very quickly. Because Garamontia is absolutely a problem here. We need to reinforce this, and we need to do it now. Okay. So the question is, are we going to have leadership of this siege? And the answer is yes. Excellent. That is good. So Garamontia is being annoying, no doubt about it. But they're not getting too much out of this. We need to finish this siege. This one is done. So we could peace out Zaba. And we would be interested in them becoming our client state. So we'll do that. Excellent. Now we just need this siege to finish. And we can peace out of this war. So that's under our control. These guys don't need to be on force march anymore. And this is Syracuse that holds this. Okay. Noted. So we would also need to head up over here and over here, right? Let's force march up to here. And then I'm going to bring this fleet on over. And we're going to come land up this way. Garamantia already controls this, but they're very obnoxious. That's for sure. More followers of the Risen Lord. That's understood. And I want these guys to immediately embark as soon as our fleet arrives. So over we go here. There we go. And we are embarked. And let's sail right on up to, actually, here. That'll do just fine. Now, as far as passage through either the Roman Empire or Dacia goes, the question is, which would they actually give us? The Romans would not give us any access, nor would Dacia at this time. 27 reasons not to, and 27 reasons not to. So we have no way to get up here. That's understood. We really need this siege to finish. That would be nice. And I do want to go to Zaba and start improving relations with them, so let's improve opinion here. There we go. Eventually this siege will finish, and that'll get us all of this auto-capped. Well, maybe not this. No, it would be that too. Interesting. Well, eventually that will finish. And we're just heading on up over this direction. There's a Macedonian force over here. Let's force march down this direction. We finally won this siege. Beautiful. This is hilarious. Our naval morale is so low right now. It's fine. We won. So that's good, and we're going to head on up into our fleet and bring these guys somewhere a little bit more useful, like here. We can come up over this direction and fight Udica's force, but they should get fully auto-capped here in a moment. Yeah, so something like that. So at this point, we are interested in taking, ideally, everything from them. I don't know if that's a viable course of action here. This is very awkward. Let's actually just client state them, like this. There we go. So Utica is now a client state, and if we make Macedon be a client state, they would accept this at this point. And I'm not sure who their ally is. Hipponian. Who is that? Oh, that's these guys right over here. Noted. Let's just sail up over here then with this force. So these guys have arrived here, and we're going to take over this. Wonderful. And I'd like to take the capital of Hipponian here then. If we can client state them as well, that would be huge. Of course, we're going to want to integrate these eventually, but for the time being, client state will do the trick. That's absolutely fine for right now. So we're positioning our army up here to attack here. A minor addendum giving us 6 stability for 10 political influence. We will absolutely take that. That's wonderful. We can call down an omen, which we will, of course, do. Any actual colonizable territories? Yes, there are 2. So we'll colonize this one, and we'll colonize this one. Perfect. There we go. And we're in position here. Garamantia is already sieging this. What a bunch of jerks. They're already sieging both of these. Okay. Well, I don't think they'll... But if they did, it would be great. They have no reason to, of course. So let's just head up over here. If we just get Macedon out of it, that's not the end of the world. That's absolutely fine. In fact, that's great. We're very happy about that. Oh, look at this. They took this back. So we'll go take that instead of having Garamantia hold it, but it's fine. Okay, so these sieges are going to end eventually. Garamantia is almost certainly going to take this. Very rude. Very, very rude of Garamantia. We're pretty upset at these guys right now. Like, they're not going to be happy about the ramifications of this in 10 years. Okay, so we're already up over here. That looks great. And we'll have Macedon fully under our control shortly. And this is occupied by Garamantia as well. Yeah, this is all fairly expected that this would become Garamantian. Okay, so at this point, I want to do something like this. Now, we can't take anything from these guys, but we can make Macedon be our client state, and so we shall. So that looks good, and then we're going to head up over here, and all of these guys, they can come down over this direction-ish. No more force march here, and you can sit up over, I don't know, like over here-ish. We didn't really take any territory directly there, and we don't need these mercs anymore. They can go away. So these guys are going to come sit, like, down over here. That looks good for now. And then these guys, they should come in, like, over here for the moment. Cool. So yeah, that all became part of Garamantia. That was fair. We'll take that away from them soon enough. So that's fine for now. We've got our forces heading back. We should make sure that these guys are all drilling. So let's go through our armies here. This guy is disloyal. Is there anything we can do about that? We can bribe him. Brings him up to 25. And that's kind of it. We could reward his veterans, but his power base isn't where his disloyalty is coming from. That's coming from the supporters. Oh, that's quite a bit of gold. I like it. So not much we can do about that guy right now. This army is here at 4.25% attrition. I am wondering if there's somewhere that we can put them. I mean, we could put them all the way back in, like, Alexandria. And to be honest, we probably should. Let's re-embark them, and let's just park them in Alexandria. That'll be fine for now. And then we've got these guys out over here. They can sit here. And then they can drill there. Excellent. We've got these guys who are sailing, and that looks fine. Beautiful. So we could build a couple of farming settlements, it looks like. Excellent. And that's kind of it in terms of bespoke buildings. So we'll just build a slave estate. There we go. And then we are back to city construction. So that's wonderful. At this point, we've got Temiathis, which is the next state that we need to work on, which is this state right up over here. So that's fine. This is papyrus producing. I feel like we should probably make this be a research location. So let's do exactly that. Noble districts, citizen districts, courts of law, academies, and that's it for now. And then we've got this down over here. This is already pretty decent on the production. We don't need this citizen district here, and we can put in a mill instead. And the Grand Theater and the Great Temple are not very relevant. We can put in a tavern there and then a forum. Beautiful. Next up is this right up over here, evangelism in our lands. Very rude. This is already set up as production. We don't need 4 levels of fort here. I can tell you that right now. We don't need a library. We don't need a citizen district. We do need mills and a forum and a freeman district and a slave trader and a tavern. No Great Temple needed. No commercial district needed. Okay, so beyond that, it would just be a matter of building out these tax offices. Fantastic. This is a farming settlement. Looks great. This is a port when it should really be a slave estate. Okay, we produce hemp here. We have a shipyard here. And this is a good shipyard. But I'm going to get rid of it. We have another one, and we really only need the one. So that's fine for now. Let's get rid of this academy. Let's get rid of the conscription camp, the commercial district, and we're going to get rid of the Grand Theater here as well. Put in 3 mills, a slave trader, 3 taverns, and a forum. That'll do for now. Fantastic. Right up over here, this is a farming settlement. Looks good. Farming settlement is fine. This is already building a farming settlement here. Let's get rid of that, at least. We don't need the citizen districts here. The aqueduct is not currently necessary. We don't need a Great Temple or a Grand Theater here, so we can definitely put in some mills. We can put in a slave trader and a pair of taverns. That'll do for now. Farming settlement here is good, and this should also be a farming settlement. Okay, there we go. So we've got a grand festival ongoing. That's cool. And we've got this governor out in Albania. Okay, So let's get that going. Now, this army up over here is currently taking attrition. Let's move them here and get them drilling. We've got this army here in Alexandria. They should be drilling. And then we've got this army over here. They should be drilling. These guys are taking attrition here. They should actually be here and be drilling there. There we go. So that looks good. Now, what other locations do we have? Well, Aves is the next location, which is right down over here. Okay. So this produces wood. We'll just have this be a production city. Looks great. Something along the lines of that. We'll take 100 gold. Thank you very much. This is a slave estate. That seems fine. This is awkward. We're going to get rid of a lot of those buildings. And we're just going to have this be production. So something about like that. There's a crisis in China, so that's great. This should be a farming settlement. This is a villa estate, but that should absolutely be a farming settlement. And this is not actually colonized. So there we go. There's that state completed. Next up, we would be looking for Alexandria. Okay. That is slightly surprising. But yeah, right over here. So we don't need the forts here. This doesn't need to be a thing. This is absolutely a research city, and that's great. We are very pleased with this being a research city. We don't need a port here. And this fleet should be like up over here-ish. Okay, so in Alexandria, we do need an academy here. And then we just want to spam out roughly 1 trillion libraries at this time. I'm going to do 1 aqueduct per 5 libraries at this point, which is kind of insane. Actually, I'm going to do it like 1 per 4, I think. And we'll do something like this. Okay, that'll be fine for now. Over this direction, this is currently a farming settlement. Looks good. This is production primarily. We don't need this conscription camp. We do need mills here. I'm going to get rid of the tax office, and we'll put... Okay, this is a farming settlement. That seems ideal. Right up over here, this is primarily production, and that, of course, means we need mills. We don't need this Grand Theater. Let's get rid of that. And this aqueduct is currently unnecessary. Other buildings here are good to keep around, so farming settlement here is good. This should be a farming settlement. Farming settlement looks great, and then down this direction, again with the production city, we don't need a Grand Theater here. Let's get rid of that. The rest of this will leave B for the moment. And this is a research city, and I think that's fine. So let's put in a noble district here. We do need some more building slots there, but we'll get those eventually as the population recovers. Population is very low in a lot of our locations, so that is understood. We need to give time for our population to recover. This should be a slave estate, and then we've got this here, which is a production city, kind of. We can get rid of these buildings, put in 3 mills. We don't need the aqueduct at this time, and then we can just do something kind of like that. Okay, so there's a lot of construction queued up over there, but we've still got more gold. So next up is Salimnos, which is up over here. Noted. This is a production city, and the Great Temple here is still actually kind of useful. So we can put in some mills, we can put in some slave traders, and a pair of taverns. Otherwise, we'll call that good. There's a fortress here, which I think is actually useful against the Romans, so we'll keep that around maybe. I don't know. I feel like we can just crush this exclave. This fort is more useful than this fort. I'm going to get rid of these, and we're also going to get rid of the earthworks. And we're going to instead put in a foundry. This is going to be 3 mills. We're going to get rid of this court of law. 3 slave traders and 2 taverns. That's about what we can get done there for now. This is leather producing. Okay. Farming settlement here looks good. This should be a slave estate. There we go. This should be a logging camp. This will be a slave estate. That's fine. This is going to be a logging camp. And then we've got this city up over here. This guy's getting very upset. That's okay. We're going to make this be a production city. Great Temple here is useful still, as is the Grand Theater. So we can get rid of the aqueduct. We can get rid of the Noble District, get ourselves a couple precious building slots, and then put in a pair of slave traders and a tavern, something like that. Okay, down over here, that looks fine. This is going to be a production city producing vegetables, and let's put in some mills here. Again, it's still useful to have the Great Temple and Grand Theater here. So those will be okay. We will then put in 3 slave traders. Perfect. This is good, and I do like having this fort here, but I'm going to get rid of it because we can replace it with a farming settlement. Okay, so that looks good. We have a title unassigned and no scorned families, so it would be this guy. Civic perk available, and we're going to take local administrators. Wonderful. So next up is Handoga. I didn't mean to click on that. Handoga. Where are you? You are right down over here. We don't want you to build a fort. This is a production city and will remain as such. So we'll build 3 mills here. This is going to be getting rid of that noble district. We do not need to have the Great Temple here, so we'll get rid of that. We'll put in 3 slave traders, 3 taverns, and a pair of forums. Actually, we don't need this commercial district. There we go. Out over here, this is a mine. That seems perfect. Okay, so that was a farming settlement. Here, we're going to want to have this be a little bit more focused on production. We don't need to have the Grand Temple. So let's do something along the lines of that. Okay. I don't really care about this. Actually, we'll take the 2 citizens. Beautiful. 2 citizens is pretty worthwhile. So farming settlement here is good. Slave estate is fine. Yep, that's okay. Okay. Farming settlement. This is a mine. That seems perfect. And here we're doing production. Let's get rid of the conscription camp. That's not really needed. And let's replace that with a tavern. But otherwise, all of these buildings are pretty okay. I guess we could get rid of the aqueduct and instead put in... Oh, we don't have mills here. Like that. There we go. That'll do for now. Beautiful. Any colonizable provinces? Actually, yes. One just popped in here. Do it. So we'll get that colonized up. That seems great. And that will be part of this, so that'll need a logging camp. But that's fine for the moment. Let's check our rurals and see what we've got here. A mine? Beautiful. Otherwise, it would be a slave estate in Akanthos. So that seems absolutely fantastic. Next up would be Jaffer. So that is right down over here. We don't need these forts. I can tell you that right now. Let's get rid of all of them. They are completely irrelevant now. And this is going to be production, so let's get that all going. There we go. This is going to be a slave estate here. Let's get that converted over. This one is also going to be a slave estate. And then down over this direction, this should be a slave estate. This is a production city, and we really don't need the Grand Theater or Great Temple here. We'll get rid of both of them. We'll put in 2 mills, a tavern, a forum, and a Freeman District, as well as a tax office. So that will be wonderful. Okay, farming settlements here are good. This is a nomad camp. I'm going to switch that over to a slave estate. That'll be okay. We're just generically building those slave estates. So that seems fine. Okay, now I do want to come up over here and make sure that we are improving opinion with these guys and these guys. There we go. Embassy's established. So that's excellent. And next up, we would have Sheriff. That's a lot of vowels in a row. Sheriff. That's definitely not how that's pronounced. But we're going over here. Okay, so that's this location. Gotcha. So that would be a production city. There we go. This is wild game. That seems okay. Mine, yes. Farming settlement looks good. Wild game, okay. This is a blacksmith. That's good enough. This should be a farming settlement. And then we've got this location here, which is definitely supposed to be a production location. We'll get 3 mills in here, we'll get a slave trader, and a tavern for now. That'll require additional work. But otherwise, that state is now completed as well. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work on our constructions. We've got a long ways to go. Oh, hey, prosperity. Yes, we will take the national tax. Beautiful. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.